Being live. We should now be live on Twitch. Hopefully.
Just better than being dead on Twitch.
Better than being dead on Twitch, that's for sure. We're gonna go and see, make sure everything sounds
Being dead
okay.
on Twitch.
Better than being.
Testing, 4, 5, 6.
I gotta mute everything. I had Twitch open because I was watching some Privateer Press stuff earlier today. Turn that volume off. Off. Hopefully that'll work.
Sounds decent to me.
May I have some more tea, honey?
No.
Oh, hi, guys.
No, you can't have more tea. Alright, so right now we don't have anybody watching, so hopefully when someone comes in they can tell us how we sound and everything's going okay.
That
So,
would be cool.
Kathy, this is your first pre-ramble.
Yeah, I kind of have a little stage fright, I'm not going to lie.
Stage right? Please, you're going to be like this little bitty, itty-bitty picture on the very top corner. Everything.
Yeah.
Oh! Fat Corby says we sound good. Thanks, Fat Corby.
Oh,
We appreciate it.
yay. Awesome.
That way we can make sure everything goes okay. So, guys, we've been gone off the air for a couple of weeks because we've all been pretty stupid busy.
Yeah,
So-
no doubt.
John, what'd you do for like 2 weeks of being off? Which I'm a fan.
Oh, well, I had a good week of moderate work and watched some movies and all that. And then this past week has been the entire bag of dicks.
The entire, not just partial.
Oh,
The
that sucks.
whole bag of dicks. My last day off was last Sunday, and I have about 80 hours for the week or some such shit like that.
Fat
And
I'm sorry.
And my next day off is Saturday, maybe. Not sure yet. But this next week coming up will be a lot better because it won't be crazy hours. What was it? Monday I got off work at 9:45 p.m.
And?
Tuesday 11 p.m. Wednesday and Thursday I left early 6:30, and then Friday 9:45 again. Friday was particularly great because I get off work, I go to Taco Bell to grab dinner real quick. I sit in the drive-thru for 12 minutes before I get to the speaker, and they tell me they can't take orders. But a couple cars in front of me got orders in before their system completely died, so I have to wait for those cars to move before I can leave.
Oh,
My God.
it sucks.
Which, on a normal day, is unfortunate. At, 10 o'clock, 10:15 at night, you're like, just move. I will kill you all. Move.
Die.
But it's only us this crazy stuff one week or so a year. So
Did you get any games in this week?
this week, no. Last week, yes. This week, yeah. No free time this week, unfortunately, Gonzo.
What?
I was lucky
None
that he
whatsoever?
let me leave early yesterday, and I managed to see my buddies for a bit before I came home and took a nap and chilled. But yeah, I got some 40K games in because I'm playing in a Slowgar League.
That's nice.
Yeah, I got more. We only score 4 games, so I got 4 games in. I went 2-1-1. It should have been 3-1 because I could have just sat back on objectives. We were having a good time trying to kill each other, so I kept trying to kill models when I could have sat back, scored more points, and he wasn't coming after Walkie McLaserface. That's what I call my my Adeptus Mechanicus Onager Doomcrawler with the neutron laser. He's Walker McLaserface.
Watch Walker McLaser. You got to paint that on the base,
Maybe
or put a banner on top of his head.
Oh, he needs a banner.
a
He needs a banner.
Yeah.
I could do that for you.
We will see. That's more of the joke name, which is funny because we have to name our HQ because you have to keep an HQ and a troop the same throughout the entire league, and they get bonuses. And I'm not going to say the names for most of the characters because they are not politically correct in any way, shape, or form. Let's just say the C word gets used several times. Not everyone was taking this entirely seriously, so when I
Hey,
named my guy,
We're all 12 here.
it's 12-year-olds shouldn't use that. There's very few words I have a problem with. That's one I'm not a big fan of. But everyone's got very silly and 12-year-old, 15-year-old names. But I made Tech Priest Steve, and I feel like I'm being one of the more serious people.
We used to do that with our Blood Bowl rosters.
Oh yeah.
The team theme and then the names of the guys. We used to just go nuts with that.
Cauliflower, yes.
Cauliflower is that
is
C
not-
word.
That's the wrong C word.
Yeah, what's funny is you say the C word. It used to be the P word around here. And I was like, that damn paper sack. Oh, shit, I said it. So that was always our thing.
Yeah, it's
Or
amazing.
instead of-
Guys are like, wow, you guys are okay. I guess the Dark Eldar guy is relatively reasonable. He is Sodomus Prime. Which,
That's great.
and it just goes downhill from there.
Oh, this sounds like a fun league.
It's a good time. There's a couple guys taking it a little more seriously than the rest of us, which is okay. I mean, that's what they want. I don't really care. I'm just sitting there rolling dice, having a good time. On a whim, I got back into the game. Figured, got some good deals.
What the heck?
I got Buchu and Head over here. I just thought their final names. I want cool Jaeger names for them and paint them up differently. I feel like you have to with something that big. And I'll show you guys again on the regular cast because you totally can't even see it because it's like this big.
How big?
This big.
This big.
Yeah, another thing we used to do is whenever people would say precisely, instead of saying precisely, one of the guys was talking to us and he goes, parsley.
Is that
We're like, what do you mean? He's like,
Is it
parsley.
like foliage? It's like foliage, right?
And so we were like, foliage.
Foliage.
So every time we say something
Yeah.
precisely, we always do parsley now. So it's like, yep, it's a running joke.
At least you're not calling your cavalry Calvary.
Calvary.
Calvary
Yeah.
somewhere else entirely. I believe that's where they. Yeah, that's not important.
Yeah.
Religion is important.
It's just one of those, yeah. Or,
So-
introducing somebody to the new skirmish game. Some ladies from the library who came by the game store to see what they're all about and saying, yeah, we're playing this game called Malifaux. I don't think that's how you say that.
No. We
Oh,
it
that's silent.
We call it malaflubles, but that's
Malaflubles.
just but no, it's a good time so far. I'm enjoying it. Managed to keep it from becoming too expensive too. Got some good deals, some good opportunities. So
That's good.
yeah, having a good time with it. It's a good change of pace. Unfortunately, it does mean I did not purchase Company of Iron yet because I was going to get Company of Iron and then they didn't have any.
Ah.
And then the first Knight dropped into my lap for about the same price as Company of Iron, which anyone who knows Knights is a hell of a good deal.
Yep.
So I took that deal, and then at that point I was in. So just kept going.
Yeah, why don't you do a small review on Company of Iron tonight? Because I actually played quite a few games of that.
Oh, cool. I'm
that
still
the
interested.
new,
It's just
That new War Machine?
Yes. Yeah, it's their new skirmish style game.
Oh, okay.
I've seen a couple rules. There's some rules in it that I really, really like, and some I don't really, really like. But that's
That
me.
was tasty.
Sorry,
Yeah, that was you. You fuck.
I already
You
talked
guys
about it
didn't know
too.
better?
So Kathy, this is your first pre-ramble. So what did you do last week that doesn't have to do with the podcast later today?
A lot of things.
Like?
Well, mainly I was working on some Guild Ball stuff for a commission, and I'm sure a lot of people saw my goal post that I was doing. I posted a lot of work in progress. There's an album on our More Than Dice Facebook page of my progress through the building of this goal post, which was for a butcher's team, and therefore it had to have meat in it. So I decided to make a barbecue. So I have the grill, I have a cooler with a bunch of meats on it, and a bag of charcoal. And that is my goalpost. Well,
I know
Yeah.
that your goalpost has actually caused quite a bit of talk amongst my local guys too. Cause they
Oh,
were
really?
Like, yeah, because I have a few of my locals follow, and they're like, is that Kathy Wupple? And I'm like, yeah. Why? Is that her goalpost for her butchers? I go, I don't know if it's for her butchers, but it's the one she's designing. She's like, that's fucking badass.
I
So
wish it was for my own team, but now it's for a friend of mine's team. So
yeah, they were asking about it, and I was like, yep. And you got actually quite a bit of good responses on it, so it was pretty good.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Oh, it was so much fun, and it's kind of one of the first things that I ever really built from the ground up, from just like tiny parts of nothing and green stuff.
And green stuff. Is that what you made the charcoal bag out of?
The charcoal bag was green stuff, and all the meats were green stuff. And they used a rectangular piece of pink foam for the cooler. And I learned that if you take a file and file pink foam, you can sculpt it into shapes with your file just by sanding stuff off of it.
Hmm.
So that was my new thing that I learned during that project.
Did you do anything fun, awesome, and exciting?
This last week.
Yeah, or 2 weeks, or anytime.
Well, Halloween. I mean, we watched scary movies. Oh,
Hey,
they
which
weren't
one?
that scary. What did we watch, Jim? Oh, that's right, Dale and Tucker versus Evil.
That's such a great movie.
Oh my God, it was so funny. I was dying. Love it.
That movie's so awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It is.
I don't know if I'd call it scary, but it's definitely a good one.
Oh, not
Yeah.
scary at all. In the same way that, well, in a similar way that Evil Dead 2 isn't scary, but it's kind of in the same vein as Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
It's just when you think it's gonna get scary, they switch completely to another scene, like at the lab.
That sounds like similar to a movie Gonz and I are going to talk about later in the regular podcast at the end.
What movie are we going to talk about?
Thor.
Why are we going to
Damn
talk
it!
about Thor?
Damn it!
No
I haven't had a
spoilers.
chance to see it
No
yet.
spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
We're always spoiler free unless it's like
Yeah.
really, really old.
And
Right on.
not called Usual Suspects. I refuse to spoil that movie.
Oh, that's got such a good ending. Yeah, you're right.
It's old enough you can spoil it. I'm like, no, I actually can't.
Oh my God!
I'll spoil all sorts of things, but not that one.
It's so amazingly unexpected. Yeah.
Mhm.
So let's see. Let's see what else. I actually haven't played a lot of games. Lie. Because I went to War Machine Weekend, of course. But we'll talk about that during War Machine Weekend. This week, what else did I do? Oh, I built a step stool for my friend, Erica.
Okay.
Erica's
Yeah.
only about 4'2". And so, actually, she's like 5 something. I don't remember. But
Short, like
4'2"
a
is
leprechaun.
very, very short.
Short like a leprechaun. Okay.
she's a short 5 foot. And so when we play at the game store, we have really tall tables at the game store. Like stomach,
I see how
near
this
the
goes.
chest.
Yes.
And so when she's like 5'4" and stuff and trying to see and move models around, it's a really big pain in the butt. And so she borrowed someone else's step stool, and they got upset that she borrowed it, and they got into this like joking fight that turned into a stupid fight. And so it went stupid. And so I was like, I'll just build you one. So today that's what I did before I went and saw Thor. I went and built a 7 foot shit. You can definitely see the table. A
That's
7-inch
called a ladder. A ladder. Different word. Close.
a 7-inch stool that she can stand on. It's just a block and stacked wood on it, so it's a little over 7 inches tall, I think. So she can stand on it and play the game because she tested out Company of Iron this week or last week, and she's been having, and it's not anything bad. It's just she's been having a little problems with the full War Machine game because it's
It
pretty complicated to
can get
her.
much.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep, and she's only done like one unit and a battle group and a caster, so it's been kind of an issue. But she tried Company of Iron and really really liked it because it was easy, quick pace. Not a big issue.
Yeah.
Plus, not this huge competitive type list building, blah blah blah.
Did you see the thread on the Company of Iron group where someone's like, "When are they going to make tournament rules for Company of Iron?"
Yes,
And Will Hungerford's like, "Never. We
never.
will never do that. That's not what this is for." Thank you.
Correct. I mean,
'Cause-
you could technically do a tournament rule. You could do a tournament of Company Iron. There is no.
But you'd rather do an event rather
Correct.
than a tournament.
Yeah, you
And-
would rather do. All right, guys, here it is, and this is a story mode, and blah blah blah. Because that's one of the things we're thinking about at War Machine Weekend next year is doing something like that. Privateer Press took it over this year, but that's what we were thinking about doing.
Eh.
But yeah, that's. I mean, you could technically, yes, you could take Company of Iron and go, all right, everybody's at 20 points. Here, bring your 20-point list and just break it down to winners and losers. And you'd have one winner, and tiebreakers would be really hard to do. Because, I mean, you could go by strength of schedule, but you couldn't do control points and all that. So, I mean, it'd be annoying. But that's not what the game's meant to be.
No, and honestly, I don't mean to go on a rant, but that's a big deal with games nowadays. People put them out, and immediately it's like tournament, tournament, tournament. If the company's got some sort of tournament format, everyone's promoting that, at least vocally,
Yes.
like that is the only way to play the game. And good lord, guys, it's not.
Well, I
No.
wonder if that's the only way they can figure out how to do an organized play event, like at stores and stuff, to really sell the product.
Maybe, but I mean, it's just people online talking about decks and stuff. Like we're talking about Legend of the Five Rings card game, and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm upset that the guy who won Worlds chose this this bonus thing, this like theme. It's like a Keeper of Void, let's say for Scorpion. When I don't like that, and I'm like, you don't have to play with that. That's only in tournaments. You can actually just play whatever the hell you want when you're playing with your friends.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And everyone just, I don't know what it is. It's could be a problem in the future. I think
It
a
is.
lot of the games don't get a fair shake because it's like, it's not tournament, or people get turned off because it's just tournament, tournament, tournament.
Like you
It's-
can't, God forbid, you just play a one-off game with a friend.
For fun? Holy mollies. No stakes, just having a good time.
I mean, we could have stakes, but they wouldn't be the kind you're talking about.
Oh yeah, that'd be very meaty.
Yes,
Like your
yes, they
goalpost.
would. I
But I
like
mean-
that. I like that my goalpost makes people hungry. I think that's mission accomplished right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of talk about them making tournament rules for it because War Machine is such a tournament-driven game. But yes, you can do it. Does it defeat the purpose of what Company Iron's meant really to be? Pretty much. I would rather see Company of Iron be this, nice little battle game that you can pick up with your friends and have someone come up and, oh, here's my scenario I made. Can we try this out? Or, hey, guys, we're going to do a Company of Iron scenario day, and everybody bring their Company of Iron stuff.
Like where you make scenarios up and then have a campaign, like an ongoing campaign from scenario to scenario. Where
Yeah,
it
you could
progresses.
do, like the
See,
old
that would be
Necromunda.
fun.
You
Yeah.
could do the old
I would
Necromunda
love
style.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we used to do with our Blood Bowl league. It was, we didn't do. I mean, there's plenty of Blood Bowl tournaments, but we did leagues, which is completely different style of play. And you're there for star player points on league play, whereas you don't really care about getting more star player points when you're doing tournaments. So you're concentrating on different things.
Mhm.
And league, you kill guys. Guess what? They don't come back in the next game.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think it's something we need to look at as hobbyists and gamers and try and keep that from becoming too people becoming too hyper focused. I would say that I think the local War Machine crew has thinned out because some people were so hyper focused on tournaments. Because we get a lot of people for the for Baltimore, which is our local tournament circuit, but between that and then there's like a Baltimore team tournament thing rotating from store to store. That's the only events going on. And sure, you can come if you're not involved in those and play in at least in the Baltimore ones. But if that's all we're focused on, that's all we're going to get, and it's hurting the games. And I want just fun. I don't care about tournament. I'll play in a tournament if the tournament's there because they're still fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like a story-driven thing. Something where, you're going for an objective, you get it. Well, maybe that gives you something for your next game.
Mm-hmm. Some games like Descent and such, Descent and like Imperial Assault, those things from FFG really do it right, where there's, either side can win or lose, and either side gets a bonus for winning or losing.
See, I could see that being, you could do a Company of Iron League and have stuff like that, And like I said, it reminds me of the old Necromunda days where you fought and you had to do all this stuff and it all broke out. And
now we'll have
a whole bunch of stuff.
We'll have new Necromunda days.
Hopefully, yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully. I'm kind of iffy on that. But let's not spoil that. Let's not spoil that because that's going to be on the podcast after we get out with the pre-ramble. And you can spoil some of the miniatures too.
That's a teaser right there.
Oh.
And it's this big.
It's only about bitty big. And such. So, no, but I mean, let's see. I did that. I played in the LCQ, helped out with doing stuff, and of course, tons of working the show. Monday was our normal day for War Machine. I did not go anywhere. I was like, nope, I'm staying home and chilling out. And so Thursday, I didn't go play anything. I went to the store and I played one game. Guild Ball is kind of taken out because they're doing a league of Guild Ball right now.
That's cool.
So it's kind of taken off. But other than that, I didn't play much. I got a bunch of lists I want to try though. So I got a tournament. Dig this. Okay. Didn't go to the tournament this weekend, this Saturday, because I wanted a weekend off. But the next weekend, I'm going out of town to a tournament. The weekend after that, I'm going out of town. And then I got invited to go to a tournament out of town on December 2nd.
Which one?
There's one in Tennessee that these guys want me to go to. Some old friends. They were like, oh, can you please come? And I'm like, I just leave on a Friday, stay the night. I'll think about it. Give me a little bit. And then I get the 9th off, and then the 16th, I got to go to Kansas City for a tournament.
That's insane. That's a lot.
Holy.
Just go into a few tournaments.
Yeah, a couple, one or two. Sort of the opposite of me. I haven't seen a tournament in a while. But then again, I'm sort of taking the extended siesta from War Machine right now, trying to get my focus back, get my head in a good place.
Yep.
I'm just trying to find people in my area that are willing to play, that are more local than an hour away.
Yep.
That's
you got old Felix. You got Felix that'll play you.
I guess you get in touch with him. I don't know if he's on my side of town, but
He'll
yeah,
play you.
Everything's up on the north side or out in the western suburbs here. For the listeners, I live in Chicago, and so it takes me about an hour to get to any one of those places. So I haven't been playing a lot ever since the bunker closed in Downers Grove. That was only about 40 minutes away.
R.I.P. Bunker.
Which, John, yes, I did get my dice tray from Aaron.
Yes.
Super, super awesome. Love
Yeah.
it to death. Such a good woodworker. And did you get your package, by the way?
I did. It was waiting at home for me.
Yay!
Got really small dice and a really small window.
Did you get... What do you think about those dice? Those dice are pretty sweet.
Yeah, they're cool. They're super cool.
You know what's funny is I took 32 of those bags with me to War Machine Weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave away 18 in the Old Man tournament, 18 sets at the Old Man tournament.
Cool.
And then we had all the people that got it from Swag and came up and asked me for it. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bags left out of the 32. So, not a bad little thing. Maybe one day Kathy will get hers since it was sent to the wrong address.
Yikes.
My fault.
Yeah, it happens.
Hey, Fat Corby, we will answer that on the live show when we go live in about 4 minutes. Because I'm actually kind of curious about that is too.
Oh, then I'll reiterate what I just typed in the live show.
That way we can, because I have no clue, so we'll ask about that.
How good it can't hold the models I need to paint? How good can it be?
Let's see what else. I still have quite a bit of dice left over for like our Patreon account. So whenever we get people to do that, we got pretty much on that. So everybody can be diced. Other than that, I think we probably just go ahead and just end this right here. We'll go ahead and end it. We'll start up the new one. We will be back in about 3 minutes or so, guys. When you do at 7 o'clock, listen for the music, and we'll get started on the full thing. We'll be right back. Don't forget to refresh your page, too, by the way.
And your alcohol.